Alright guys, we're back. Alright, so, couple things I wanted to go over. You guys probably all got the email about Milestone 5s. I need to go back and, well, tonight, real quick for this video, I'm going to do some example or show you guys some examples of common mistakes that I saw. Alright, so I'm going to be showing some examples of your projects. Please don't take it personal. This is just, I'm going to go through and grab the first one I find that has whatever it is I'm trying to show. So I will switch over to that right now. Alright, so here's one of those projects that I was talking about. So when I go through and I check this project, one of the things that I can see sometimes from the plan view here, um, but also from actually just kind of zooming in on it, I can at least kind of see it right here. You see how kind of at the zoom level there's like a little bit of an extra bump right there, where that line is. So what we have right here is a couple extra lines that are, and I'll just move this one out of the way. So we've got that line there. We've got another line right here. We have this line right here, and then we have a point right there. So when I look through these, sometimes I can spot them just by kind of what zoom level I'm at. But often I can just kind of take this selection tool and make my way up, and I'll see like, oh, see how that kind of, as I move through this area, see how it highlights those individually differently. Um, and so there's another spot right there. And so those are the kind of things that I'm looking for when I go through these. Now, why would you not want to make that mistake? So, not necessarily in this class, we're not going to focus too heavily on it, but in other classes or for other projects, you'll be using line weights to indicate certain elements about your drawing. And when you do that, if you have a bunch of these extra lines kind of just clouding or clogging up your drawing, it can create a situation where you have multiple lines in the same space, and if you set a certain layer to be thin, but there's some extra line there that has a completely different line weight, it can become kind of tedious. So it's not like a massively critical thing. You can always go back and fix it. But it's a good idea to keep an eye out for those things when you're working on the project. All right. One of the other things that this project has right here is this little line right here. So it's just a simple trim to clean that up. Actually, there's another one of these little lines right here. And again, you just want to kind of make sure that you don't have, excuse me. All right, you don't have two little line segments like this that are joining together. This should be one, oops, there we go. One solid line connecting those together, okay? Um, so those are just little things. I didn't see any big issues with many projects. Another one here was getting these all lined up, and I think part of the issue here was, I don't know, that has decent page size, 1/4 inch. Yeah, so I think one of the kind of things here is just make sure that these are all set up correctly. So it looks like the A1 here wasn't centered when it was placed in there, so it's a little bit off to the right. Some other things, just try and keep, oh, was that attached, or did I, okay, that was me. So when you hide the viewports, or when you put the viewports on another layer and hide them, um, that lets you actually put them a little bit closer to the label that you're working with. And I'm going to kind of just freehand this, but some people are asking what a trick is to help kind of line these up. And so what I've always done is, straight in paper space, just drop a line like that. And I was actually pretty close with this one. I can actually just do that. Oh, no, it didn't let me do that. Try that again. Do a move. And just try and get that gap right there. And then this can get a little closer. So it's just having these extra little small adjustments can help kind of clean up your model and your paper space, so that you don't have as much kind of wasted area going on. And this one, I don't know. This is probably one I may have told you guys to do 1/4 inch. This one I'm going to go back and just retroactively make 3/16 so that we can fit this in here, because that's going to give us a lot more space. Oops, grab that. Right there. And so now we can take this set right here, and I'll just do a reference to line this up right there. So now we've got the bottom of that elevation is approximately in the same spot. Your lines are lined, your labels are lined up, and I'll do this one here too. So again, reference that same point, get that virtual reference, and then just kind of, there we go, move that up. And then because we're running out of space here, I can shift all of these over and just kind of again go through and clean everything here up using similar reference points. So and that should do that. I think that's right. Let me double check here with this. Yeah, got it. Okay. So again, make sure that these are kind of evenly spaced. I might have a little bit bigger of a gap right there, but we can just move this right about there. That's pretty close. I wouldn't necessarily expect you guys to like measure out the gaps or whatever. But once you have that, again, you'll go through, we'll make a viewport layer. Oops, don't need to type viewport. And again, I'm gonna go ahead and just make this a fuchsia color so that I know that that's something that I shouldn't see when I go to print. And then I can just move all these elements to that viewport layer. Oops. And then I can hide the viewport layer. And let's go on, did I? Yeah. So when you hide that viewport layer, it doesn't, it doesn't remove the content of that viewport. It keeps the content there. It just hides that border for the viewport. So that's what I was looking for. Those were a couple mistakes that I saw across multiple projects. So I just wanted to highlight kind of how to clean this up. And I'm not going to bore you guys with doing the rest, but just try and keep these nicely lined up, spaced well apart. And if you need to, just double check with me, but usually it's okay to just take your floor plan down a scale if you need to fit everything in. So, all right, that's that. I'll come back with another video.